How's it going, guys, and welcome to another character build in Gedonia. Today I'm going to be showing you my take on a cultist, and I hope you guys like it. At the time of this build, the game is currently in early access version 0.90, so some skills and abilities might change when this game is in the full release. Also, 17 extra skill points are available from obelisks at this point in time of the game. So for the cultist, the starting attributes are 0 strength, 3 agility, 4 intellect, and 0 charisma. So the reason I picked 0 strength is because it doesn't really matter what armor. I just wanted cloth anyway. So with the agility, just so we can attack a bit quicker and get that bloody attacks proccing a bit quicker, we chose 4 intellect because it's going to be pretty heavily dependent on mana and spells and everything like that. And 0 charisma because we don't really need any friends. We've got our summoned skeletons and minions that we can use. Alright, so for our skills, we've got 15 in combat mastery, 15 in blood magic, 15 in arcane magic, 7 in defense, and 15 in dark magic. So in combat mastery, we've got enchant weapon level 2. So this can create a powerful cleave attack with the current element of the enchant. And the cleave attack will deal 50% of main weapon damage, scaled with melee and magic damage bonuses. So we can do a little bit more damage with our main weapon. We've also got level 4 rend, so this gives us a 20% chance to cause bleeding to an enemy with each attack. And that will deal 20% of our damage every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. So we can put a bleed on our enemy, which is good. Also picked up level 4 fencing. So this will just give us a final attack of our this will just give us a final attack of our combo and adds additional armor piercing effect with 100% chance, but we didn't really pick that up, so we just get the combo. Moving on to blood magic, we've got our mastery skill, Blood Demon. So for 40 seconds we can transform into a blood demon. We get 2 new attacks. Our primary attack, which causes a quick melee damage that restores health and increases blood rage, and our secondary attack is a powerful blood bolt that uses blood rage. We can fly and glide in the air. We can only use hemorrhage without the cooldown and receiving the damage that we get from it. We can also use blood spikes with increased damage, and we won't auto aim on enemies when we throw them. Our blood element level 2, which drains 5% of our health, but we can also increase our chance of bloody attacks to proc by 5%. We've also got mark of blood level 2, drains 10% of our health, but assigns a mark of blood to the target, which will slowly deal damage, increase chance of triggering bloody attacks by 15%, and also increase damage on the target when we attack, which is really good. Next up, we got mad attacks, favorite ability in the game. So this will perform a series of quick attacks, dealing 30% of our damage per hit, and increase our chances of bloody attacks proccing by 15%. So that's a really good one. Tap into blood, drains 10% of our health and restores 15% of our mana. But the more we use it, the more health it'll drain if we use it in quick succession. Next up, we have blood spikes. Drains 20% of our health, and this will grow spikes of blood on our back, and it'll damage enemies that are nearby for 10 seconds. But if we use it again, the spikes will shoot out in front of us and deal damage to enemies around us, like in a cone. Next up, we have hemorrhage. So this will drain 15% of our health. It'll also deal 20% of our max health in damage to nearby enemies. And it can also refresh marks of blood applied. And when we use it in our blood demon form, we can use it without dealing any damage to ourselves. Next up, we have bloody attacks level 3. Each attack will give us a basic 10% chance to restore 8% of our health, but we can't heal more than 20 times per minute, which most likely take out enemies a lot quicker than a minute in this build. Next up, we have hunger for blood. So this will increase our attack and movement speed by 5% for each enemy that are near us. The more enemies around us, the more damage we can do. Next up, we have leeches level 2. So after an enemy dies, we have a 100% chance of spawning a blood-sucking leech that can attack enemies and restore our health. So it's a really good one to have to keep our survivability up. And we also have Bloody Frenzy. So this increases our chances of bloody attacks triggering by 20%, and that's straight up all passive all the time, which is really good. All right, moving to Arcane, we have our Magic Overload and our Maximum Overload Mastery skill. So 3 stacks of the Overload, we can get 200% magic power at the cost of 400% mana cost. And plus each of our intellect points adds magic power. So we can do a ton of damage with our spells with this build. So we've got that. We've also got Magic Shield. So this will just have a shield around us, and while it's up there, it absorbs all damage at the cost of mana. So as long as our mana's up, we can't get damaged. Next up, we have Mana Bonus level 3. This just increases our mana by 100, and also Mana Replenishment, which increases our passive mana regen by 300%. Next up, we have Defense. So we just got Survivability level 2, which increases our health by 60, and also the Mastery skill Defense Master, which we're using this to increase our total health by 30%. It's the only reason we're using that. Next up is Dark Magic. We've got Drain Health level 2, just drains health, pretty simple. We've also got Shadow Wave level 3. So it sends a wave of shadow that curses enemies, damaging them and increasing the damage they receive for 30 seconds. Also heals summon skeletons for 50% of their health, which is really good because we have Raise Skeleton level 2 and Raise Skeleton Mage level 2. So this will just raise our skeletons and they will just fight for us. Depends on what element that you have active, depends on the skeleton that rises up. So we have blood, so we'll have blood skeletons rise up. We've also got the Mastery skill, Powerful Skeletons, which increases damage and health of summoned skeletons and decreases the mana taken from them. So they just drain our max mana when we summon them. So this will just lower it down by another 3%. Moving on, we have Raise Abomination. So this will just summon an abomination and it just takes 40% of our maximum mana. Pretty straightforward. He's a pretty strong minion. So we got him. We've also got Bone Serpent. So this is going to be like our boss killer. Doesn't take any mana or health or anything like that. Just every 4 minutes we can summon the Bone Serpent to fight for us. And it only lasts for 40 seconds, but it deals a huge amount of damage and has a lot of health, so it can sort of tank a bit as well. And we've also got Dark Power level 5, which increases our dark spells by 15%. Alrighty, let's see how we go in combat. Alright guys, that's my take on the Cultist. The Cultist can do a lot of damage very quickly and has a lot of survivability with all of the bloody attacks proccing and everything like that. Also, can also have distractions from the summoned minions, so you can use them as sort of a bit of a tank for you that can do a ton of damage without getting hit too much if you're using your minions. And the Blood Demon form just rips everything apart anyway. So I reckon it's a pretty fun build, and yeah, I hope you guys like it. Let me know what you think. Alright guys, that's going to do it from me. I hope to see you in the next one. And as always guys, take care.